What's up, Online Empire Academy? Joshua Woodward here, your podcast host. Today's sponsor is the Yorba Label Company. They're giving us 25% off of 3,000 address labels. If you've ever shipped Amazon FBA, you know that you need those address labels. So it's a great deal, guys. Here's how you get it. Go on to Amazon.com, type in address labels, select perfect peel address labels. In the checkout, you're going to use the promo code LABELS25. That's going to get you the 25% discount. It's time to hop in with our guest. Thank you so much for tuning in and enjoy the podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about drop shipping, and we just shot an email if you guys got it. Thank you so much for responding, but we got a ton of response on the subject of drop shipping. And this is obviously like, I've heard of it before. I've been talking with Dean about it a lot, but I wanted to get the nitty gritty from the guy who is kind of heading this up, and it is my one and only homeboy, Dean Soto. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Dude, I'm
Excited to be
stoked.
here.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah. So we want to talk through what drop shipping is for those of you who don't know what it is, and then how it can actually help your Amazon business. And the big question I've been getting is the legal side of it. Is it legal? So we're gonna talk with Dean through this subject, and kind of I just want to pick his brain because I have a ton of questions too. So Dean, first off, tell me, how the heck did you get started with drop shipping? It's so random.
Well, first off, I apologize for the room. This is not my studio. This is my son's room. We have stars and pictures and all other stuff. I got basically kicked out of my studio because it also happens to be where my littlest baby sleeps. So I don't get to have the cool mic like you do today, at least. So, but yeah, it's interesting. I mean, for those who've known me for a while, I like doing the online stuff, like not the physical product stuff. So I do all the online marketing, podcasting. I used to do. Now that Josh basically is way better at that than me, I give it to him, and he's like taking it to like the next level. Webinars, all those different things. I just don't like touching physical product. Not that it's bad. It just doesn't coincide with my nature. And it was interesting. Drop shipping never appealed to me. It's been around forever, honestly. Like I mean, everyone knows what drop shipping is for the most part. And there's so many different ways to do it that I never actually went into it. I never actually went into it saying, hey, I want to drop ship some stuff. In fact, it was quite the opposite. I was kicking and screaming on the way to even figuring out how all this worked, especially with Amazon. And long and the short is that Brett actually, when he was a part of the academy, he had some things that he was teaching, and he wanted to have kind of like someone to be able to explain sponsored ads of all things, which is another popular topic, which we'll talk about in another podcast. But he wanted to explain sponsored ads and how to read the data and everything. And so in order for me to do that, in order for me to come from kind of like a more of a beginner, or more of like because Brett, he has hundreds, if not thousands, of different SKUs and just does a ton of different sponsored ads. He essentially was like, hey, I need someone who could come from somebody who doesn't really do sponsored ads that much. I knew how he was doing it. I knew kind of like all the theory behind it and so on. So he's like, I really need help. And I said, sure, sounds great, I guess. I'd rather shoot myself in the face, honestly, than touch physical products. But okay, I'll do it. And so his idea, his main thing is that, go and find products from, say, TJ Maxx or wherever, bundle them together, and then send them in Amazon FBA. And then what you can do is you can then it's your own unique bundle. You can then start running sponsored ads to see what the data is, because really the data is what's important. So say if I put together, a knife and a dish set, and I put them into and make it into a bundle, and make them into like a dinner set. I can then see if I have, say, 2 or 3 of those and I am able to sell them via sponsored ads, I could know what keywords actually converted. I know what price points people are willing to buy at, all those different things. Really powerful stuff, because then I can take that data and use it for any type of dinner wear, Um, but I, I, I did not want to do Amazon FBA. I was like, there's got to be a better way. I don't want to take these things, bring them here, then label them. I haven't done it in like a year and a half at that point in time. And I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to be doing it the right way. And I'm like, I'll just merchant fulfill them. And after a series of unfortunate events, Amazon basically did not give me the buy box when I was merchant fulfilling those little dinnerware stuff. I'm like, crap, how am I going to get the data for this thing? And and so I remember that I actually had contacts with these vendors for some fitness equipment. And I said, you know what? I really don't sell on Amazon anymore. If I get suspended, I get suspended. I don't care. Like, honestly, it's not going to matter to me because I make my money elsewhere. And so I contacted the vendor, said, hey, can I drop ship with these? And they said, yep, no problem. I put up some listings on Amazon just so I can show the the data, and boom, something sold, and boom, something sold, boom, 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 boom. And it was like thousands of dollars of stuff that had sold. I had the data, but then I also had to figure out like how to clean my pants because I totally like almost pissed in them. Like, you're gonna get Soren's pillow? Sure. Jen wants to lay on his pillow. Jen wants to lay on his pillow? Okay, go ahead and get Soren's pillow. Daddy's doing an interview right now.
This is real. This is real.
But yeah, because I was like, well, I thought I didn't want my account to get suspended. Hopefully this is like legal what I'm doing. And and then I love you. Okay. Hopefully this is legal what I'm doing. Sent all the items, was able to drop ship them, and then I actually, after the fact, looked at Amazon's terms of service, and it was completely in line with what they allowed.
That's
so
awesome.
Long story short, that's how I ended up starting to drop ship.
So the typical method of drop shipping, in my understanding, I was going to buy a product on Walmart.com, and then I was going to have them kind of fulfill it for me when it's sold on Amazon. So I was going to make a listing from that item. When it's sold, I was going to buy it on Walmart and have them ship it out. That was my understanding. It was super confusing to me. Drop shipping has always been a confusing thought process in my mind. So can you kind of walk us through what your model of drop shipping looks like?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I was exactly the same way, like completely confusing. I actually had a bunch of software that I was going to be doing dropship. This was like a year beforehand, and I'm like, this sucks. I ain't even going to do it. That way of drop shipping is actually illegal on Amazon. It's not illegal like law-wise, but it is against Amazon's terms of service to do drop shipping in that fashion.
Okay.
This was a recent change that Amazon had, and it's funny because a lot of people actually think that Amazon doesn't allow drop shipping at all anymore.
Yeah.
Because of that change, And I think before this, you were even mentioning that you had a lot of people saying that.
Totally. I mean, in the matter of a few weeks, I've probably had like 5 or 6 people ask like, hey, I'm not sure about this whole drop shipping thing. I think it's illegal. And I was sitting down with a buddy the other night, and I was like, no, like it is legal. Like the terms of service, like I'm pretty sure it's legal. And so one of the questions I had for you, and you answered a little bit, but
yeah,
because my understanding was, well, the reputation of your selling account would be in jeopardy if your listing was still up there and Walmart ran out. And that's what they don't want, correct?
Correct. Well, and it's not just a matter of inventory. So, or something like that. So first off, I'll explain, I'll read to you verbatim what the policy is with Amazon, and then I'll kind of give you the why behind why they don't want you doing,
okay,
say online arbitrage drop shipping from Walmart to Amazon and so on and so forth. So So dropshipping policy, as of today, I'm looking at it right now. It's not that hard. It says, one, be the seller of record for your products. The seller of record for your products. Two, identify yourself as the seller of your products on all packing slips and other information included or provided in connection with them. Okay. Be responsible for accepting and processing customer returns of your products and comply with all other terms of your seller agreement and applicable Amazon policies. Okay, that's it. It's not that much stuff, right? Essentially, what they are saying, and what makes this whole way, and it's not even my way of doing things. This is something that I stumbled upon, and now as I'm doing this, I'm like, holy crap, there's a lot of dropshippers who do the exact same thing. Wayfair being one of them. If anyone's seen Wayfair, Wayfair is a huge dropshipper. And if dropshipping was completely illegal on Amazon, then you would not see Wayfair on Amazon because that's what they do. I mean, they are insanely huge, and that, in fact, they drop ship from a company that I actually did a website for over here, and I know for a fact that they're drop shipping from them. So, and they're actually on some of my listings too. So essentially, what Amazon's saying is nobody likes when, and this happens with Amazon FBA, retail arbitrage, all that other stuff. Nobody likes when they buy something, say for $79, and then in the mail they get a thing from Walmart, which happens to have the receipt in there saying, "Hey, thank you so much for shopping. Here's your receipt, $29.99."
Oh gosh.
Who would want that?
Yeah.
Who would? So Amazon's like, screw this, guys. You can't do this anymore. We get calls after calls after calls after calls of people who are upset because they're getting things from Walmart. So they want you to be the seller of record, which means you have to be a wholesaler. Okay, you have to have a wholesale account. You can't just go and buy something from somewhere else. Okay, and then you have to have your name on any associated packing slips or anything like that. Generally, if you have a packing slip, what most vendors will do, what most wholesalers will do is they'll have, it'll say bill to, like my company, Pro Saloon LLC, and then ship to this one. But they won't have the cost because wholesalers don't want to share what the cost is anyway. 99%. So your name's on there. You are the seller of record. You're identified as the seller of that particular item, and you're totally within Amazon's terms of service. So yeah.
Perfect. That's actually what I was going to ask you to kind of break down for me was that next piece of it of like, okay, how does that work? Are you're the seller? So, yeah, I wasn't sure how that whole like shipping process went. So that's good. The next question I had for you was, what are some of the pitfalls that you're seeing?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. I can tell you I love dropshipping way more than I love Amazon FBA by far. It's freaking cool to, I was just recently on vacation in Idaho, and I think I shared with you a couple of things, but basically like waking up and seeing, hey, sold, ship now, ship this off, and knowing that, because I have different ways of scaling my business, knowing that it's completely taken care of. I didn't have to pack anything, didn't have to do all that stuff. Obviously, it's pretty awesome to be able to do that. I don't, it's replenishable, all that other good thing that comes with having a wholesale account, essentially. The pitfalls are, I mean, the biggest one I would say is you are the customer service, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. It could be a good thing. I should say this. It could be a bad thing if you suck at customer service. It can be a good thing if you're good at customer service. So, for example, I just had someone over the weekend return, or not return. Actually, one canceled an item and one returned an item. And the person who canceled, I was just like, oh yeah, no big deal. Cancel the item. They're happy. Great. Another person returned an item or wants to return an item, and they were super disappointed. They were like, this item's, it didn't fit right, didn't do this, whatever. And I said, hey, you have every right to be disappointed. I'm going to do whatever I can to make it right, and so on and so forth. The last thing I got from them was, wow, you have treated me so professionally, and you know, it sucks that I have to return this thing, but you know, I really appreciate everything. Um, so you run into situations like that. The only other pitfall, the biggest pitfall, I would say, is if you run out of inventory, but that's really your fault. Um, not trying to be mean or anything like that, but one of the things, the cool thing is with this kind of method, when you're dealing with wholesalers, vendors, and things like that, staying in contact with them, letting them know, and asking ahead of time, hey, how often do you run out of stock on these things, these particular items? What items do you never run out of stock on? Because guess what? I'm going to hop on all of those friggin' items and sell as many of those as I possibly can, because it helps them and it helps you. You can use automated software that has like data feeds and stuff that keep your inventory levels well stocked. But generally, if you just stay in contact with folks, you should be all good. But I mean, really, that's really only the only downfalls that I've seen so far personally.
Okay. The next question I had was, what are some of the successes that you're seeing within the industry? You know, what are some of the things that, like, obviously you've been doing this for a while now. You're kind of seeing things move and progress and shift and change. What are you seeing people do well? And then I'll ask on the back end, what are some of the things that you're seeing other people doing the dropshipping method that they've struggled with?
Yeah, so it's kind of it's kind of a hard question because it's not very popular, which you can tell. The um, cool thing is that most people think it's against Amazon's terms of service, and whenever I hear that, I'm like, thank you so much, I love you. You know, keep thinking that. You know, that way you're not my competition anymore. Sweet, just you know, I don't mind that. Um, and in fact, every webinar I have, I say, you know, anytime someone says that, you know, Amazon doesn't allow it, I'm like, sweet, you're perfect. You're exactly what I want. Obviously, I would like them to buy my course, but if I'd rather them also not be my competitor. So so it's kind of hard to say, but generally the biggest successes that people have seen is I have one guy who he he is literally in less than a month. I think it's been less than a month. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's been less than a month. He's outsold me like 100 times.
Oh my gosh.
The guy is freaking crazy. He's been with the Online Empire Academy for 3 or 4 years, and he found a niche. He as soon as he saw what how the method worked, he had a niche where he's selling items that cost about $5,000. Now with drop shipping, remember that most people were like, well, can you afford $5,000? Drop shipping, you're getting paid ahead of time. So all you have to do is be able to float whatever you got paid for 2 weeks until Amazon pays you. So he he gets about a 35% margin on these. So I forgot. Let's see, 5,000 times 35%. So he makes about 1,750 per sale that he does. And the last time he texted me, he said, "Oh, cool. Yeah, I just had my first $10,000 day." Um, and he so you when you the best part about drop shipping in general in the industry is that you can sell things that you normally wouldn't be able to sell on Amazon FBA. This thing is way oversized, it's heavy, it's just something that you're not going to ship Amazon FBA. Plus, most people are not going to wholesale them either.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's just going to cost too much. On top of that, you can sell things that, like for example, the summer, what can you not sell? You cannot sell things that melt, right? You can't, Amazon FBA wise. So you
No
can sell
popsicles,
different
guys.
chocolate packages. You can sell different things like that. And that's the one thing that he actually reminded me of. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Thanks. But oversized stuff you can sell. Things that you normally wouldn't be able to send in Amazon FBA because they might be considered hazmat, or they might be too big, or they might be too whatever. There's so many opportunities that you can so many opportunities with dropship that you can't do with Amazon FBA.
So
I don't know.
are you
But
buying the items flat out? So you said that I got a little confused when you said float. You've got to float it. So will you explain that a little bit? Let's use let's say somebody lists a washer. I was talking with a friend yesterday and they're like, wait, could I do this model with like washers and dryers? So let's say hypothetically they could do that. It's a $2,500 unit. How would that work?
yeah, so essentially what would happen, say you're selling it for $2,500. Um, and typically with a wholesale account or vendor account, you're going to get anywhere between 35 to a good vendor is going to have anywhere between 35 to 50% off
Okay.
of that retail price, or the MAP price, what we call a manufacturer to advertise price, which is a price where you cannot sell below that price. Okay, if you do, you'll get in trouble with the vendor and they'll probably kick you off and not let you be a dealer anymore. So say it sells for 2,500. You're going to have, and I'll answer your question, but you're going to have your Amazon fees, which are 15%. Okay. And then on top of that, you might have shipping, depending on if they're going to ship that for you or not for free. I have vendors some who ship for free, some who don't. So you just got to kind of keep those fees in mind. What happens is, say I'm selling that $2,500 item. You, Josh, are like, man, Hannah really needs me to buy this awesome dryer and washer set, and this is like the best one I've seen. I'm going to buy it. You go on Amazon and you buy it, okay, for $2,500 plus tax or whatever. What happens on my end is it says, hey, sold, ship now, that washer and dryer. I essentially have that in Amazon has the money. They're basically an escrow account. They have the money just like with Amazon FBA. They have the money. They hold the money they actually hold the money till you ship, and then I think it's like about every 2-week cycle they'll give you the money. But you paid, they have the money, they tell me to ship. I go tell the vendor to ship the item to you. Once it's confirmed that it's shipped, Amazon says, okay, cool, we're going to pay you this next go around. So that next go around might be anywhere between a week to 2 weeks. Until you actually get the money. And so you have to float. If you only have $3,000 in your account, in your bank account or whatever, or your credit limit, or that's your terms with the vendor, you can sell one, wait 2 weeks, and then resell another one. Wait 2 weeks and resell another one if you wanted to. So the only constraint is, can you float for those 2 weeks? You're essentially getting paid up front, but you still have to wait for Amazon to actually pay you.
Okay. That's interesting. So you are negotiating your prices, you're negotiating your percentage with the company previous to listing on Amazon, correct?
Yeah, generally there are, especially if you're new, they're going to say this is what your wholesale cost is.
Okay.
But once you start selling more, then you can say, hey, can I have a price break on these? And you can actually negotiate prices down. It is very easy to do, especially if you're selling a ton for them.
My last question, and kind of the one that's been driving me nuts is, will I be able to make, $1,000 days? I know you said 10,000. He hit that $10,000 mark. What would it take for me to hit $1,000 day?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I call that a how long is a piece of string question. How long is a piece of string? It all depends, right? So, okay, so this is where a lot of people, you have to have a mindset shift. If you've done Amazon FBA in the past, if you've done retail arbitrage, even with wholesaling, really anything, the difference between drop shipping and everything else is that your money's not tied up, which is a good thing, but it takes a very big mindset shift. So what is the goal of drop shipping? The goal of drop shipping on Amazon is to build your portfolio. It's literally all it is you're building a portfolio of listings, because the more listings you have, the more opportunity that you have to sell. The downside, I should say, one of the biggest downsides with drop shipping is that you're making between 10 to 35% margins, which, most people on FBA doing retail arbitrage are like, well, I can usually get a 300% ROI or 50% or a 70% ROI. So they look at this and they're like, why would I ever want to do that? Well, I just sit back and laugh at them, because all I do is I go, okay, let's spend 5-10 minutes setting up a listing, a bundle for like $799, and I'll make $10, 10% off of this or 15% off of this, and I never have to do anything with it again. And I'll just go spend another 10 minutes while they're out at TJ Maxx doing all that other stuff. I'm literally just at my computer creating a new listing, and when that thing sells, I make 10%, 20%, 30%. I have a bundle that I created and that sold last week, that it sells for $699, and I make, after fees and everything, I want to say, so after fee, it cost me $384.
Okay.
Sells for $699. After fees, I want to say it's like low 600s to high 500s. So I make over $100 off of that item. And I never have to touch it. I never have to ship it. I never have to, the vendor's doing all that. I never have to go and prep and make sure that it's all prepped right and pay ahead of time. I never have to do all that stuff. So it's really a matter of building your portfolio. This is what Wayfair does. And I'll end it here as far as explaining. Wayfair might make 5% off of their items, but they have 100,000 items out there.
That makes sense.
Listings. So it's almost like a microtransaction model with like Visa or PayPal or whatever. PayPal makes 3% off of their transactions or less. But when they have millions of transactions going on, do you think they care? No, because they're able to scale it out.
Dude, I love it. Well, I know that this is something that I'm going to be pressing into, and something that I'm going to go through. For those of you who don't know, Dean has a course. We're gonna post those links in the description below, so you guys are gonna be able to figure out more information about that. Just if you want to go and take this course, because if you're not a part of our Facebook group, I would recommend you going and doing that, and then you're gonna start seeing all these different posts about people who are actually succeeding with dropshipping. And everybody talks about like the living on the beach lifestyle, and this for me, it gets more and more intriguing the more and more I hear about it, because it is that living on the beach lifestyle. It's like you just said, I'm spending 10 minutes making a listing and then going for it, and I don't have to do anything else. So I'm super excited about it. What's the best place for people to get in touch with you if they have any questions?
Well, the course is at dreamdropshipping.com. Dreamdropshipping.com. And really our Online Empire Academy Facebook group, or at the onlineempireacademy.com. I'm always, you see me at like 2:00 in the morning answering emails and things like that. So I'm pretty available for stuff, but yeah, man, I like this. It actually, I'm not gonna lie. It is a side income for me, and it's easy side income. I make my money off of other things, and I love it. And I love the fact that a lot of people are having success with it. And I love that I can just put up a listing. I don't have to go out to TJ Maxx or spend 8 hours a day. The worst feeling in the world is spending 8 hours going and trying to do retail arbitrage. This is why I stopped in the first place. 8 hours and coming back with nothing, and knowing that you pretty much failed that entire day. Whereas now I'm like, talking to Josh. Oh, cool, I sold something. Pretty nice.
Totally. Well, thank you so much for being on. I'm excited we finally got to sit down and talk through this. Empire, if you guys want to know more about him, go hop on dreamdropshipping.com and or just message us in the Facebook group, man. We're there. We like to talk about it. And I'm excited. I'm going to go on this journey too with you guys. So I'll be asking just as many questions as you. Well, Dean, thank you again for coming on, man.
No problem, man. It's my pleasure. I love it.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys listening, and I hope you were motivated by our guest today. Again, our podcast sponsor for the day was the Yorba Label Company. If you want to get that 25% off of 3,000 address labels, I know I already got mine, and I'm so excited about them. They're fantastic. Go on to Amazon.com, search address labels. You're going to find them under Perfect Peel Address Labels. Click on it in the checkout, go to the promo section or the promo code, and type in labels 25. Again, that's going to secure you that 25% off. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it, guys. If you want to know more about us and everything we're doing, go on to the onlineempireacademy.com. You can also go on Facebook at Facebook.com/The Online Empire Academy. Or on YouTube, same thing, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, Empire, have a fantastic day.